What's up? Figured, it's only been a day. About overdue for another update. I really just want to get through these 7-inch boxes, Just want to get it done. We're listening to Doom Watch, a symphony of decadence on a very hard to read label name, Strategic Records. Lesser known PA crossover thrash. For whatever reason, I kept coming across this tape in different distros and gave it a shot, and I really like this. I've been into this record for a while now, like over a decade. If you're into legitimate 80s crossover thrash stuff, this should fill the need for you for a little bit. It's punky vocals, good heavy riffs. It's just not overproduced enough. Kind of raw sounding, nice guitar tone, good solos. So that'll be playing here in the background while we discuss these 7 inches. For those of you that don't know, maybe the first time you've watched one of my videos, I have ridiculously long playing piles comprised of stuff from way back and stuff that I just bought. I like to give myself little mini collections of stuff to paw through for whatever reason. I already went through all these. This is my box of LPs. I have no idea. I'm not good with numbers, but probably over 100 LPs. I got a whole, 4 little mini crates of 7 inches that are not in view right now. So I'm just going through those. I would like to, I have been kind of reconsidering doing an entire collection video, but I have a lot of records and it seems like such a fucking undertaking. Might be kind of fun though, so who knows. I don't plan on stopping this anytime soon, so let me know. If you'd like to see that, let me know what you think. So we're in the mid-Ks here. This is a repress of this classic early 80s US hardcore band from Knoxville, Tennessee, called Coro. This is a repress on Sorry State Records. I don't think there's anything flashy in here. Yeah, it's a little baby thing there, the label. It's black vinyl. Great. Ultra harsh, ultra fast hardcore. What you would expect to come out of the US out of that scene. Some nice catchiness here and there though. And there's some weird pitch shifted vocals that turn the vocals up higher. And certain parts that give it a sort of odd air. Kind of separates it from the rest of the pack of other bands like that, so that was cool. We got a Krakdown 7-inch here, self-titled. The originalist vocalist for Krakdown, they were from Long Island, nice wall ride. Went on to be the vocalist for the Crumbsuckers. His name was Chris Notaro. He did not sing on this, I believe. Certainly doesn't sound like him. I was actually scouring, trying to find out what the name of the vocalist was on this record, and it came up dry, but this is great. I mean, this is the era of New York hardcore before it got more muscular and metal infused. I'm a very big fan of that stuff myself. Similarly named Breakdown kind of pioneered that style. But it's super good, anthemic, early 80s hardcore. It's quality stuff. One of the bands that doesn't get talked about as often, but it falls kind of in the same comfortable realm as stuff like Antidote and Urban Waste and all those bands that kind of came in the whole rush of the A7 scene after the Bad Brains moved to town and things just kind of exploded. It came a little bit later than all the things kind of blew up in LA and DC and other parts of the country. The New York hardcore scene as a hardcore punk scene were kind of latecomers. Yeah, I'm a nerd for that shit. Not a nerd enough to know the name of the singer from Krakdown, apparently, but I'm going to be watching there's that New York hardcore documentary. I think it's out on streaming, and I took a really long nap. I'm probably not going to bed till 4 in the morning, so after I shoot this, I'm probably going to scope that. I'm looking forward to it. I've been watching interviews with the guys in it for months and months and months, getting stoked on all that stuff. So, anyway, sorry for the sidebar rant. Up next, we got this Crypt single. This came out on Detest and Me Sako Un Ojo records. Just 2 songs, Descending of Tormenting Darkness and Putrefied into Nothingness. Great little single. Again, I loved Detest Records. I picked up everything I could by them on 7-inch. They are no longer. They were a Belgian label run by this guy named Jerry. Sorry he hung it up. He put out awesome stuff. This, if you like the records on Dark Descent, you know what to expect from Crypts. Very, very heavy, finished doom death. Great sense of melancholic melody with a lot of the second guitars, the leads, and everything. Just very, very despondent sounding and heavy. Very great. Then Kung Fu Rick. I got this in a lot I mentioned a while back that was like mostly grind and crust records. This is cool. I remember hearing a lot about this band back in the day. It's definitely, even for its time, very unique. They were sort of like a DIY hardcore power violence band, but there's almost like a shreddy, super tight metal edge to it, and a lot of unpredictability in the songwriting. It's almost like soulmates with a band like Citizen's Arrest, where it's like it doesn't really sound like anything else. You know, it's of its own existence. You know, yeah, cool band. I almost feel like at this stage in my life, Kung Fu Rick might not be something I'll revisit that often, but I was also told that they were incredible live, and to really get them, you had to see them live. I heard that in an interview recently. But anyway, after that, we got some Last Rites, a little reissue on Tang, 2-song single, one of the hardest records ever released. Not that it's all about being hard, but man, this is so good. Chunks and So Ends Our Night. For those not in the know, there's a band from Boston called Slapshot that came after this. There was a band before this called Negative Effects. Slapshot was an American hardcore band that involved a lot of British oi influence. They also had just enough of a touch of metal. Super great sandpaper rough vocals, but sung and very, very catchy. Negative Effects was more like bordering on first DRI record or early Siege. Just fast, shouted stuff. Chunks and So Ends Our Night, this single from Last Rites. Last Rites was the in-between band between those two with the vocalist. So Ends Our Night's a total anthem about going out and with the boys and being a tough guy and drinking Coca-Cola. And Chunks is just about brotherhood. My brothers, we are one and the same. Mid-paced rager, suitably enough, chunky kind of riffing. I'll post a link. Great stuff. I already mentioned this in the vinyl tag thing, but Life's Blood Defiance is one of the best hardcore records of all time. Enough said. Moving on to Line Cell. This was a PA, kind of scummy punk oi band. Might have had something to do with that whole Confederacy of Scum thing with Anti-Scene. I'm not sure about that. Came out on Headache, which was the guy from the Wretched Ones label, another good Jersey oi band. There's a song on this called You're Not Punk, You're Dirty. Yeah, you know, definitely lowbrow shit. You know, 3-chord, mean sounding, beer swilling punk rock. Most of my splits I have separated out. For whatever reason, this ended up in the alphabet, so I'll just show it anyway. This is another Life's Blood record with a band called Sticks and Stones. It's a split. It's Radcore Records. Forefront Records. Okay. Yeah, simple yellow label there. This is both sides, I believe, were radio sessions. The Life's Blood songs on this are sick. Not in Your Heart and Resist Control. Resist Control went on to be a Born Again song, one of their best songs. Maximum Security, Left Out on the Ice to Die. Very desperate sounding. They definitely got a little bit more untethered with these recordings and these songs. Life's Blood did kind of let go of the testosterone fueled rage and just kind of lost it altogether. It was awesome. Got Long Knife here. This is a hardcore band from the Pacific Northwest, Portland to be specific. There's been a lot of hype around this band lately, past couple of years. I saw them live. To be honest, I was kind of bored, not to be a dick. They have a couple of full lengths. Checked those out. Was also kind of bored. They're definitely doing a early Poison Idea worship kind of thing. You know, gravelly vocal, fast, desperate sounding kind of hardcore punk. Very, very, very similar to their city mates in Poison Idea. However, this record is perfect. Like, this is just everything I need by them. Fucking really, really, really good. And I believe it's Negative Mental Attitude. That song has a music video that is awesome. You're on YouTube right now. Look it up. I'll post a link if I'm not feeling lazy. Then we got Boston's own MFP. This is also fucking not very nice. Fucking mean dude hardcore. Definitely along the lines of like, hey, let's take the essence of SOD, MOD, Sheer Terror, and bands like that, but kind of subtract out all the metal and just kind of leave the meanness and the heaviness. It's definitely got that kind of thing to me. There's a song called March of the MFP on there, so you know there's got to be somewhat of an influence from that kind of shit. I'm gonna flip this over, hold on. And I'm back. After that, we got the excellent Ball of Destruction EP from Madball. This is when Madball was just a agnostic front side project with Freddie, Roger from AF's younger brother, and most of the songs on this record are from the United Blood EP, which was AF's first record. Very fast, basic, 3-chord, like that kind of hardcore stuff. Smell the Bacon is a great song. Even that early in New York's history, they were mixing up slow and fast and like kind of getting how tempo changes would get crowds moving, you know. Colossal Man was, I believe, going even further back to a band called the Psychos that was an early New York hardcore band. That's a great song, and they do It's My Life by, why am I spacing who the original band is? But it's a great cover. It's My Life, I'll Do What I Want, Skinhead. Yeah, great classic New York hardcore stuff. Zombies, maybe? Fuck, I don't know. I got nothing. We got second Madball 7-inch, Dropping Many Suckers. Sorry, it's just Suckers. They're still using the R on that one. Yep, this is songs that ended up on Set It Off, their first record. At this point, they were becoming more of a real band. A little bit of that more muscular, metallic kind of thing going on. But, you know, definitely had the whole, you know, street New York thing going on. Freddie's still really young here, you can tell. But yeah, Spit on Your Grave, Never Had It, Across Your Face. All great stuff. If you're into that sort of thing, not to alienate my more traditional metal viewers, all 3 of you. Then we got Magic Circle. This is awesome. If you like traditional heavy metal and doom metal and all the paths in between that go back and forth, you really, really need some Magic Circle in your life if you don't already, as well as Eternal Champion. Guys from Boston, from a lot of different types of bands. This is really cool. This is on that Hell Massacre imprint I think I talked about. It's a little side label from Painkiller, who do mostly hardcore records. A nice little 45 hole. Just a simple slip cover, no insert or anything, but you know, there are certain things that remind me of Sabbath Dio era Sabbath rather. There's certain parts of it and the spirit of it that reminds me of Pagan Altar, but it's very, very good. Brendan Radigan has a massive set of heights on him. Can really belt it out. So if that sounds interesting to you, put the links below. Got a couple of Mayday records here. This is The Underdark, which I hope is a reference to Forgotten Realms. I just hope so. I'll kind of talk about these two together. Mayday was a band from Richmond, Virginia, I think. They were a very early metalcore band. Before metalcore involved sentence-long band names and, you know, emo, clean vocals and stuff like this. This was just nasty, hardcore of its era, like a lot of the New York stuff and the Youth Crew stuff that was popular in the early 90s, late 80s, mixed with Slayer. These guys also did a split with Integrity. That was, I think, the best stuff that they did. But this is nasty, demonic stuff. But it sounds like a bunch of kids playing it. You know, it doesn't sound like people trying to sound like demons or anything. It just sounds like some very angry young men. Madball. This is also on Detest and Me Saco Un Ojo. This was a band that kind of helped me get back into death metal like a while ago. Got me more excited about it again. These guys are from Sweden, and they are worshiping the Swedish sound. This was recorded in Gothenburg in 2008. It was almost 10 years ago. I think their really great demo came out maybe a year before this. Yeah, it's definitely, you know, that kind of Sunlight thing, you know, but very, very fresh and vibrant sounding, very, very, very good. I love the demo in the 7-inch, and then I heard the full lengths, and I was like, not as into this for whatever reason. Could probably use a revisit. Mob 47. This is awesome. It's another great Havoc Records repress that desperately needed to be put out there. Speaking of Stockholm, another band from that area, from the early 80s. You know, great raging hardcore punk that was influenced by Discharge and other European bands, but also I think took a fair amount of influence from DRI and anything fast that was out at the time. And the drums on this are like the cherry on top of the sundae. They're super loud in the mix, and they're super tight and just frenzied. And yeah, this is just a non-stop rager. Great stuff, and I know it influenced a lot of that death metal to come about 10 years later. At least that's what I read. Got some Morbus Kron, Creepy Creeping Creeps. So this came out right before the first LP there, Sleepers in the Rift. Love Morbus Kron, love the early stuff. Just got Swevin, like I mentioned last update. So, but this was great. I mean, it certainly reminds me of like all the heavy hitters from their country mates and everything, but it also had a strong Autopsy influence. So, yeah. Great real deal death metal. Doing it right. Got this nice little Motorhead single here. Death Forever. This is cool. It's got the album version from Orgasmatron on the first side. And on the second side, it has a song called On the Road, as you can see there, which is an embryonic version of Built for Speed. It's almost like a Walpurgis Knot, War Pigs kind of situation where some of the lyrics are different. There's not as many lyrics. I think they were still working out the song live. But yeah, that's a cool little record. I like that version, On the Road, Built for Speed. This I picked up the last time I was in Syracuse. It's cool to have. It's very silly packaging. I just bought it to buy it. It's a live version of Overkill. 500 of these on white vinyl. It's got this weird spandex. I don't know what this is. This weird material cover. It comes with, if I can dig this out. Oh, it's like fucking stuck in there. Uno momento, por favor. It's got a Ace of Spades Lemmy card. It's cool. You know, I'm not super hyped on bells and whistles like that, but whatever. It's neat. I'm sure you can't tell in the light. Well, maybe a little bit. It's etched with the War Pig on the side. It's just the one song of Overkill. You know, Kind of neat to have. Just thought I'd buy it just for shits and gigs, you know. Soundgarden, Syracuse, New York. Support. You know what? I was going to go through the ends, but I feel like this is getting kind of long, you know. I'm getting sweaty. Kind of gross down here. Probably going to go up and, I don't know, watch some more Chopped or something. Oh yeah, and just one more thing. Tonight on Eric Bauer's channel at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time will be a live stream with myself, Eric, and Aaron the Metal Theologian, possibly one more. So tune in for that if you want to watch us blab about stuff. Should be fun. I'm honored to be included in such an endeavor. Alright, see you guys later. Bye.